All right, a little different look today for Coach Blanchard, but man, what a night you had Friday night. A huge win over a tough Ohatchee team. Coach, this team's kind of turned a corner or something. Something's clicking. Something's going right for you guys. But take us back to last Friday. You sewed up a playoff berth with that win and a big win. Just a lot of good things happening right now.
Yeah, just really excited to get in the playoffs. That was one of the goals that the seniors, that was one of the goals we talked about in the spring. And then all summer we talked about that. So it's just good to be able to clinch that. And the guys played hard, and they're starting to believe in themselves more and more each game. The confidence is growing. We went out there. Our defense played phenomenal. We ended up forcing 5 turnovers, and 3 of those were scooping scores off of fumbles. We had 2 interceptions. Hayden Hudson had 2 interceptions. Wayne Nowak scooped and scored. Josiah Bethel, he started the game off with a scoop and score, and then Barry Hill towards the end, he scooped and scored. So defense, they flew around and got after it and put the offense in a lot of good situations. And then offensively, we only had 11 minutes of time of possession, but it was because it was 1 or 2 plays and we were in the end zone. So there's just a really good job of those guys blocking for each other and getting after it, and the effort was there. We had, like I said last week, we had a lot of guys touch the football and a lot of guys score, so proud of that. And then we ended up playing all 57 on the roster, and the young guys got to get in, and that's what I believe helps you build a program.
Yeah, because they got to get meaningful Friday night snaps. I mean, like, if you don't, you can't replicate those.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, that's part of building a program.
Yeah.
100%. You ever been a part of a game as a player or a coach or anything where your defense scored 35 points?
That was probably a few times back when we were in school. I mean, our defense was really good at Piedmont. I can't remember a game where we scored 35, though.
Yeah.
Defense they did a phenomenal job. And we had some special teams. Our kickoff team, we kicked off a lot, obviously. They flew down there every single time. There was not a time that they let up. They flew down there and did what they were supposed to do and kept them pinned deep most of the time. And then Owen Beeson, our kicker, did a good job. He bounced back from last week. He went 100% on his PATs. And then Barry Hill, after he scooped and scored, he's a little tired, but we let him go in there and kick the PAT. So he actually scored 7 points by himself. Awesome. So it was a fun night for the guys. And like I said, we got a lot of the guys in. We got the 8th graders that were pulled up. They got to get in and get some experience as well. So, and it's always good to go to the Creek Bank, a tough place to play, and get a good win like that.
Yeah, that atmosphere over there is really unique, man. It's an awesome place to watch a football game and definitely play in one, I'm sure. This week you got Locust, the big one versus Piedmont's looming, but yeah, that's why they pay you the big bucks here. you don't overlook a team like Locust.
Yes,
because they've had a lot of guys come through there here recently. They've had some ups and some downs this year, but when you turn the film on, Coach Billy and them, what have you seen?
Yeah, Coach does a good job. We've talked throughout the season as well. Try to keep a good relationship with all the coaches because you never know what kind of situation you're going to be in. They're all great guys, great guys, and all guys that I can learn something from. And so, but we talked earlier in the season. They have an explosive offense. They've always been really explosive on offense. They do a lot of different things, shifts, different formations. So it makes your defense have to prepare, a lot longer than just a few formations. They give a lot of different looks. They got a really good quarterback, a really good player. And then defensively, they kind of give you some multiple looks. So we got to be prepared for 3-man, 4-man front, different coverages and things like that. And the ball ain't bounced their way in some of the games that we've got to watch. But they're still a good football team. They get after it. And last year they had one of the best players in the region in Dino. So they had a really good last year. And they graduated a lot of good players, and that happens. But he's done a really good job, and we can't go in there with the mindset of looking at their record or anything like that, because anybody in this region can beat anybody at any given day.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in, got to go 1-0, and got to set ourselves up, good confidence going into the Piedmont game and then in the playoffs.
How do you keep the guys dialed in? I know it's easy to say it, but it's also another thing to say, hey, got a bunch of your staff members coach there, and they're number one in the region. This is a measuring stick. And you played there. Silas played there. A ton of your guys played there.
Yeah.
How do you keep that? Like I said, that's why you're the big one.
You just, remind the kids that the standard's a standard, and, we got to get better each and every day. And I know I reference, Coach Saban a lot, but that was his thing. I saw the story about they won the national championship, and Lane Kiffin was talking about it the next day at 7:30 a.m. He had a staff meeting and said, hey, we're behind on recruiting, let's go. And he's like, man, we just won the national championship, we can't get a break. So that, that's kind of the standard. Like, hey, we got to build it each and every year, and we got to stay on these guys. And the guys that played at Piedmont, we knew that standard. Coach Smith was like that. And Coach Smith expected that from us. So I think that I don't really have to stay on them as much, because we were a part of that. And then the guys that were here and the guys at at Glencoe, all the good years they've had, they were part of when Glencoe was really good. Alexandria, Coach Ginn, part of when they were really good there. And Hoax Bluff, Coach Rob. So everybody, I think that the staff just kind of understands, like, hey, the standard's the standard. And we can't let up, and we gotta stay on these kids, and because it's not for us. That's what we tell them. It's not for us. We've got to play our games. We've got to win championships, win big games. Now we want y'all to get to experience what we experienced, and that's what we tell them all the time.
When you got that final horn sounded, and you talk about pressure off of it, a pressure valve had to release it. We are in the playoffs now, and what was the message to the guys?
I do think that was a huge relief. It's been a while since Glencoe's gotten to say that, so we're proud of that. Just hope that we made everybody proud that's from here, and alumni and all the people that's played here before. But it's a huge relief to just get to go into a game and just play. And I just feel like it's a lot of weight lifted, and we just get to go in and play and remember that this game is a game. We get to have a little fun. But also remember that we can't slack and we can't have penalties. We can't do anything like that. So we want to go out there and play clean football and get ready for some good teams. And we don't know who we're playing yet because that region hadn't shaken out. And our region hasn't shaken out completely. So we just got to go in there and know that we got to win every game. And that's the standard, is to go 1-0 each week.
This time last year, this region was a mess.
It was.
I mean, people were like, what in the world? These people had to get out. You had to get scientists out to figure out those tiebreakers, and it lasted all the way up to the last week. But to be able to control it with your own destiny, and your guys had it in their hands, and they went and did what they needed to do to solidify it, man. Yeah. How proud are you of the guys? I'm so proud of the guys.
We talked about that before the game. This is your chance to control what you can control. And I think they really took that to heart, the way that they were flying around. I think it was one of the most physical games that we've played all year. We were laying some licks out there, and and getting right back up and doing it again. And on offense, we were blocking. Receivers were blocking downfield. Linemen were pulling around. They were smoking guys, and everything just seemed to kind of be clicking. And I think it was because they've been so focused, and we told them, if you can't get motivated to play this game and know that you're going to get in the playoffs, then what are you playing for?
Oh, for sure.
And so they did it. They responded very well, and I'm really proud of the way that they prepared all week. They've been great, man. I tell you all the time, locker room environment's great. The kids love each other. The coaches love each other. We love the kids, and it's just been a lot of fun to get to see them, get the benefits of how hard they've worked.
No doubt. 100% agree with that. Before I shut it down, I always like to kick it back to you just for final thoughts.
I like to mention that this Friday is senior night, so we're going to have senior night against Locust Fort, so we'll honor all the fall sports. It's going to be an emotional night because I love these kids.
Oh, yeah.
Been here my whole 4 years, so I got to see them as freshmen and getting to come up and as seniors, and they've been through the good, the bad, the ugly. They've been through a lot, and they've stuck with it, and they've stuck with Glencoe football. And I'm just really proud of those guys, and just honored and blessed to get to coach them because they're all great kids. They give effort for each other. They love each other, and I'm just really proud to be their coach. And just hope that everybody comes and shows up for them and shows out, show the Glencoe pride, and let everybody know what's coming for the playoffs. And like I said, don't want to look ahead, but really looking forward to getting to honor these seniors on senior night.
Man, that'd be awesome up there, Coach, and I appreciate you sitting in with us as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.